Meagan Goodwin, the wine manager here at Newt Cellars. I'm in charge of actually designing the flights, and we are going to be featuring 2 Riesling flights for the last month of the summer of Riesling and getting ready for Riesling launch week. In honor of that, we've got our lineup of 2010 Rieslings going from our dry Riesling, our semi-dry Riesling, and then also our circle Riesling here. Semi-dry Riesling. Infamous circle. The idea, the concept of a flight to begin with is really to kind of have a couple different examples or options or samples of a wine to taste through and kind of see the differences and the similarities within. But with our flights, you get about 2.5 ounces of each of the wines on a flight, and they're typically 3 wines per flight, which comes out to about 1.5 glasses total. So it's not an overwhelming amount of wine, but it's also giving you enough to enjoy and you know, maybe have with your appetizer and then pick the glass you like the most of for dinner. Okay, so we've got the 3 Rieslings lined up, dry, semi-dry, and circle Riesling, and I think we should talk a little bit about the 2010 vintage, as this is so much of what Riesling Launch Week is all about. I was speaking with David, our winemaker, earlier, and he gave us a really great kind of description of how to equate the wines to the vintages. Think about 2006, which was very lean and focused. If you took a hose with a little attachment on it and you had that very kind of almost laser stream, that would be the 2006. The 2007 is like the shower setting where it's just lots of water coming out the whole time. The 2010, you would actually take the attachment off and just run the hose, and it's got that very kind of clear, concise cone of water coming out. And that's kind of what the 2010s are. They're focused, but they're very fruit forward and very unctuous and opulent by the same token, while still retaining that really true to the Finger Lakes acidic backbone that we have come to know and love so much about them. Let's go ahead and taste the dry Riesling. And smell it first, because that's the most important part, I think. We've got our traditional apricot and peach in there, and I think what's really kind of fun is you're getting a little bit of tart apple showing through. With the semi-dry, we get a little hint of pineapple, which, yep, definitely the semi-dry is your pineapple. Infamous circle, which is just kind of an explosion. We did the 2010 Riesling flight for Riesling Launch Week, and most of the flights that I put together are somewhat thematically designed. I like to have maybe 3 Cabernet Francs from 3 different producers, or I like to do let's say 3 Rieslings of ours from different vintages, so you can kind of taste vertically how the Rieslings are, taste different vintages, but also kind of get a preview of how your Riesling that you might have bought yesterday in the tasting room is going to age over a couple of years. We really allow people to have fun, explore, educate themselves with wine without having it be pretentious or you know, frightening. It's very approachable, it's very people-friendly. The Sawmill Creek Riesling flight is one of my personal favorites, just because it's got this great illustration of, everyone always talks about this concept of terroir and how much the land speaks in the wines itself. And the neat thing about the Sawmill Creek Riesling flight is we've got this great vineyard that we've been using for years and years and years. And just dynamite fruit comes out of Sawmill Creek. They do a wonderful job. But what we did is we took our Sawmill Creek Riesling, we took a 2009 Heart and Hands Sawmill Creek Riesling, and also the 2010 Billsboro Sawmill Creek Riesling. So you can see the same fruit in 3 different bottles of wine and kind of explore not only how the you know, concept of terroir works, but also really how much a winemaker does to the wine itself. We could all get the same grapes, and you're going to get a different product from every winemaker who makes a wine from us. So winemaking is half science. It's half art, and it's got a dash of magic thrown in. So you should definitely check out the Sawmill Creek Riesling flight and see where that little dash of magic comes in and how it really can greatly impact just the same batch of grapes from even the same vintage from the same land plot. One of the final and exciting things about the 2010 vintage, which I think is why it's so great we're doing this Riesling launch, is that if you pick up a bottle of a 2010 Riesling from the Finger Lakes, you're going to open it, you can pour it in a glass, you smell that, you know, oh man, this is a 2010 vintage, this is a Finger Lakes Riesling, and this is what I've been looking for. They just have that distinctive personality across the board, and not just Red Newts, but the Finger Lakes as an entire wine region. So if you haven't had one yet, grab a bottle, pop it open, and enjoy.